we're geeking for all Marvel, DC, Trek, and more. Pop culture battles, settle the score. Nerd fights, let's get loud. Nerd fights, yeah, for the geeky crowd. Nerd fights, hey, it's time to throw down. Bring your fandom, it's the hottest showdown. Who's got the takes? Who's got the heat? Mr. Know-It-All and Salty can't be beat. Let's fight!
That means only one thing. It's time to fight.
He drops out with the final shot.
Nerd fights.
Let's fight!
Yeah, boy.
What?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Nerd Fights. I am Mr. Know-It-All, of course. Joining me tonight is the captain of this starship, Salty Trekker. Sir, how are you?
Well, actually, I gotta say, it's really been an interesting day because I don't know if you saw this or not, but now you know they released the JFK files, and
Hold that thought. And how's it going, Gonzo? Welcome also to the show, sir. Sorry, we're still doing
what's
intros.
going on?
Everyone's got to know who's here. We'll get back to Salty in a second.
no.
You don't get talking and rambling. You got to actually let everybody know who we are. Now, hey, Salty, how's your week been? What do you got going on?
I'm just saying. So I got the official papers right here, and hold on, right here. This is really. Hold on, this is really cool stuff. So right here, it shows.
There's nothing. I think it's pretty much what we already know.
No, dude, this is big stuff. So right here.
Well, first off, you never get this excited about anything genuinely, so I know that you're putting us on.
Whatever, dude. I'm trying to tell you.
You don't use dude.
Do you not care about American history? Do you really not care about?
I happen to watch History Channel quite a bit.
Okay, well then let me finish this because it says right here that the shooter was Mahatma Gandhi, and now a lot of people didn't. There was speculation as to whether or not there was a second shooter. There was, in fact, a second shooter at the grassy knoll, and that was Mother Teresa.
Yes, Thomas, he is in fact going to do retro reviews of every JFK movie that has ever come out.
That's
all filtered through any new information that may have arisen.
Yes, and by the way, but no, it gets even better because the ringleader of this whole thing, like a lot of people thought it was like some kind of CIA black op thing. Absolutely not. It was an assassination plot by none other than Martin Luther King Jr. He claimed, and I.
Did anybody notice that he absolutely does sound very much like he sounds like the guy from It's Always Sunny, who's got the conspiracy theory board?
Yeah, that's right.
You got to turn yourself back on, Salty. I muted you by accident.
Yeah, sure. It's by accident.
Oh, see,
that's part of the conspiracy.
I have no idea.
No, but check this out. So on page 3,
look, he's even clutching all the papers like the guy from It's Always Sunny from the meme.
I've never seen.
I show you.
Though.
It's all the crazy.
I have never in my life watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've only seen the meme moments. You're right. Okay. I haven't watched it either.
But no, check this out. So no, Thomas.
No, Thomas. Darren had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Darren had absolutely nothing to do with it. It was Mother Teresa and Mahatma Gandhi with the guns, Martin Luther King. And so right here on page 3,279, it says that he claimed it came to him in a dream. And he said, and I quote, "I had a dream last night that we would shoot the president, and then we would all say, 'Free at last, free at last.'" Now, the interesting
you have to say it with a JFK accent. We are free at last.
No, because this is Martin Luther King. Free at last.
No, it's about JFK. So
I can't do it. Yeah, but then
so you can do black voice, but you can't do JFK voice.
I don't know how to do a proper Boston accent. I'm sorry, but the but I am black by marriage, so I got that. So Planet
X.
So, but the interesting thing is, and this is where the big cover-up happened, was that in 1968, so about 5 years later, in May, or March of 1968, it says here that Dr. King was going to go public, and so that's when they decided to take
this is
him.
a run-up to a really long joke. He's going the long way around.
Yeah. So,
In fact, I'm shocked he hasn't loaded something up, like an AI video or some sort.
it's
Or a
true,
song.
I tell you.
I'm
I'm
shocked he
so
hasn't
surprised
loaded
he
a
hasn't.
song.
You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna load up the video of that little icon he's got there, the salty monster holding the rifle.
Like climbing up all like, tell you what happened. That should be the conspiracy salt monster. That's the conspiracy salt monster, the one that came up and sings. That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, the creepy looking one.
I think it was strong.
Apparently, the same reason Howard Stern can't be racist. He has a black co-host.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, no, I'm sorry, but you know, it's one thing to say, yeah, like I have 2 black co-hosts, but really, it's
No. You have a black co-host and a person of color co-host. There is a difference.
But that's two very different things.
That is right. Don't
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Get
realize
mixed
that.
up.
Hold on. He sounds like Grandpa Simpson telling war stories. That's awesome. And Stanley did ask, of course, right on cue, was the salty vampire involved?
I'm louse, you idiot.
That's right.
I'm the waiter.
Oh my god. Okay, so do we just like come out? Do we just spill it or what?
Yeah.
What, the
well,
do you
whole
want
thing
to-
about- I just did. I told the whole
No,
truth.
that's
Oh,
not what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about, sir.
Oh.
That's right.
You know what?
Oh,
We
God.
got to get like one of these days. Since your wife is white, we need to make it so that I can like do this and then have her hand.
I mean, come on. That'd be awesome.
Oh man.
That would be the best. That would be awesome.
And then like
Uh,
you know, you could reach down, and then we'll have somebody
Like,
with.
salty, your nails look great.
Oh, thank you.
ABJ says this all reminds me of the Trump's uncle got time travel tech from Tesla theory. That's explained how an outsider managed to become president.
You know,
Salty
I'm
and Mr.
sorry, but Trump's
Salty and Mr.
uncle.
Know-it-all. Salty and Mr. Know-it-all. Swingers?
Swingers?
No, I don't dance. I've never been a dancer. I'm more of a break dancer. I'm not really a swing guy. More of a break dancer myself.
Oh damn, you guys, man, y'all just going to mile.
Have you ever, you know? Let me ask you
We'll
something.
jump in. Don't worry.
Have you ever been driving down the freeway and the car ahead of you, like turns on their windshield washer fluid, and then it like
Yes.
it's
yes.
too hard and it shoots over the car and hits you?
And that's why you're not a
I will
swinger.
never go to a swingers party.
I knew that was awesome. Bro, I literally, I was like, no, he's not about to say that. And sure you did. That was awesome. That was good. That was real good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for the those of you on the
Do it.
so
Do it.
we've been so you have to understand when you do a show of this nature, and you got to kind of come up with things on a regular basis and whatnot. Over time, especially with the other commitments that both Salty and myself have, and now as a growing member of this little family, Gonzo has, we had to really kind of look at it and see, hey, what's going to be the best? What's going to allow us to create the best content for you, the audience? And it's funny because I hate using the word content like that because it makes it sounds all like
We're content.
Like you're a YouTuber or something?
We're
Oh no, heavens
influencers.
forbid.
No, we're definitely not influencers. We're not influencing anybody. Trust me.
Mm.
People are go. I don't want to buy whatever he's got. I'm sorry.
Well, we're what they call anti-influencers. Whatever,
That's right.
you know, people pay us to endorse their competition's
The
product.
competitor's product. By the way, we totally cash those checks. So, but feel free. We're good. No, but no. So the question really became sort of what are we going to do that's going to be able to continually help us be able to make the best content? And truthfully, at this stage, what we decided to do was the reason I named today's video "The Last Generation." That's what the reference was in the chat earlier. Is because this is the last of this style of nerd fights you will ever experience in the history of ever.
At least
Dun,
until
dun,
Saturday when we decide to do it again for some reason.
No, shut up. Oh God, at what point did you Planet X? At what point do you get promoted from content creator to influencer?
Oh,
When
that's
enough-
just as wait. I can answer that.
Go for
It's
it.
as soon as you get enough lube to stick your own head up your own ass.
I would concur. That's a good one. No, that's good. That's good stuff. We've already warned Gonzo he's gonna have to shave to do that, but
Oh no. I'm afraid it might not grow back.
Whatever. I've seen your father. He has a very healthy coif of hair. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. It's so funny.
But what about his grandfather?
Imagine Gonzo, but slightly more soft spoken. That's his dad. Like, but still is opinionated, and still has thoughts on things, but a little more soft spoken. Imagine if he had a little. Hey, look here. Don't you start, Mister. I love him. No, I love your father, bro. Hey, Penny's here.
Okay, we can start. Penny's here.
So
all right, now we can actually start.
So what you're gonna experience is starting very soon in the next coming weeks. We're gonna be making. By the way, nothing's gonna change on Salty's channels that he does. What he does is Exposed, Salt Pepper, those things. The Salty Plus rather channel. Nothing's gonna change on the Know It All channels as well as on the Know It All Nation. And then in fact, what you're gonna see is a lot more. Hopefully, a lot more Gonzo doing stuff. No, man, that's how you got to dress for the job you want.
So you're trying to be an influencer, is what you're saying?
No, I'm trying to rally a community. I want to be. I was an only child. I have to have a community.
Mr. Potts.
Sounds to me.
I am not blue with a big nose. I am brown with a big nose.
He means Gonzo from the Muppets.
Brown noser.
No, so you're a brown noser? Is that what you said?
Isn't that what I just said?
Nice. But no, so what's the difference? So what's going to happen? We are going to start doing Nerd Fights. Nerd Fights is going to it's going to be an actually formatted show. And one of the things that Salty has always been amazing at is doing these really great games and entertaining things. Some of them panned out, some of them moved on because whatever. And at the end of the day, we've decided that we love this brand so much, we want to start taking it extraordinarily seriously. And the truth is, we do reviews. What we do here now in this format is literally an echo of what we're all doing by ourselves regardless. He's doing his reviews. I'm doing my reviews. When we come here, we're kind of just regurgitating the same thoughts and the same stuff, though obviously a little contrarian to one another. So what we decided to do is we're going to pick up the ball and start actually doing official Nerd Fights. What does that mean? Nerd Fights is going to become a sort of a pseudo-competitive entertainment game. We're going to have fun. We're going to have choose topics. We're going to debate them. You guys are going to get an opportunity. In fact, after kind of in a little bit, if you want to start throwing things out there, Gonzo is going to be our on the regular judge for things. And then over time, depending on when he's ready, he wants to jump in with both feet. One of us will take over for once in a while. And then, of course, we're going to look to have guests, see if we can get Laura on, see if we can get some of the other guys we know of and love, and see if I can get some new folks, some new faces on in order to compete, because that's what we want this to be. If we're going to be fighting nerds, we want there to be some nerd fights going on. So we love doing that. Guys, what do you guys have thoughts about the sort of the direction? Can you kind of fill people in what you're thinking?
You are going to fight Jake Paul? Yeah, are you going to be fighting Jake Paul? Yeah.
Tyson took him on, so whatever. Oh, look at that. Planet X with the $5 super chat. Planet X, we love you, brother. Sounds fun. I wish you luck in your endeavors. Planet X, we love you, bro. For sure. ABJ says, do it. I appreciate you guys always. We absolutely think the world of
and all of you that are voting in the poll, thank you.
Nice.
Yes.
Where do you have your poll, sir?
I can't do it on your channel, so it's on the Nerd Fights.
No, I know. You're totally fine. Right on, man. But what is the poll?
There and vote.
What is the poll you're voting on? What's the poll?
You can go there right now and vote. You'll see what
I'm sort of running a show at the moment.
Oh, come on, dude. Let me just stop what we're doing and go vote in the poll.
Nerds, thank you, Daniel. We love you, sir.
Nerds.
It's neck and neck, though.
Oh, ABJ says take on Laura. That'll be cool too. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh
absolutely.
my god, I want to do that. I was so pissed the day that I couldn't make it.
Last
I was like,
Thursday.
oh, I was so mad.
Yeah,
I missed.
He joined, and
I would love to hang out with him.
It was great.
He seems like the kind of guy who's got some things and some thoughts to say. I love it. I follow him on all the socials, and he's a good guy. I've never met him, and I think he's a good guy. Darth Maul, what's up? Literally Darth Maul, like the mall. But anyway, so what else is going on?
So obviously we finished that one last episode of Daredevil.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
Daredevil looks good. I actually am ready. I'm ready for them to start doing some stuff, man.
yeah,
I'm down for it. It looks like it's gonna be fun for sure.
they had a good 2 episodes of setting up.
Legal stuff, and it was. I mean,
Legal
it was like very very hardcore legal stuff.
And so now I'm ready for
I felt like I was waiting for like
It looks like we're
it's
going into
about
another
to
trial.
go down.
Say again, Sarah Salty.
Well, then we, because we had 2 trials now.
That's right. Well, one trial and a negotiation, but but yeah, I was half expecting in that moment that it was going to be that they were going to do their thing with the where the prosecutor had said he was going to tell everybody he won't be able to go to traffic court without having to fight somebody.
Yeah.
So I was half expecting this to be the sort of a breadcrumb from that. Like the girl was going to be like, "Nope, sorry, I've been told I gotta do this, take you all the way to the mat with this one."
So do you think that Punisher is up to something?
So hold on. What do you think about this? So apparently Punisher, hang on a second. Let me also make sure that I want to make sure we're covered.
Put the spoiler.
There you go.
Spoilers on.
Right. All right. So quick question. Are they implying that Punisher's just been chilling in New York doing the Punisher-y things and we just haven't heard anything about
Well,
it?
he has a secret lair with lots of
Holy.
guns.
And he's like, you're out here he's like, I'm out there doing stuff. I'm out there, Rick. Sorry. I always hear him when he does that. When he does Punisher,
Rick.
I hear him as that at the Walking Dead character he was. He's so emphatic.
Yeah.
I'm killing the zombies, man.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? You know that voice he does? Yeah. And what's funny is if you ever hear him in real life, he's straight up an actor. So in real life, he's like, yeah, I like getting into the mentality of the characters and stuff. And you're like, who are you? Stop it.
He's not like that, bro.
Swear to you, bro. Look up any
I've
actual.
seen his interviews, man.
Well, I mean, that's not as bad as
that's
not as bad as when you hear Cox in an interview. It's
Robert,
like, I absolutely love playing Dad.
Robert, you miss nothing. You're good, sir.
And it's like, what?
Planet X says, you seem to be one of the few nerd channels not devoting massive amounts of time oddly talking about Disney fairy tale Snow White lately. So you got that going for you. Yeah, I'm a big proponent. I don't talk about things that I don't like. I don't talk about things I don't like. Plus, actually, I am seeing it, but not today. So I will be seeing it before
I
the end of the
was
week.
seriously thinking about trying to get a good picture of you so that I could have an AI have you in a tutu dancing in a garden with like birds flying around you and say that's the new Snow White.
Why don't you at least know? Are you going to be one of the dwarves? Because you kind of look like the one. They have one that has just this, and I immediately thought of you. It's much smaller than yours. But when they showed him smiling, I was like, "That's salty." What the? What is he doing
So do you care
what's he
about
doing to
spoilers for Snow White?
No,
'Cause
God, no.
I'm going to be seeing Snow White this weekend, I think.
No, I do not care about Snow White. You're good.
Okay.
Although ABJ would like to point out, Snow White isn't a nerd film.
Well, that's
Dead
true.
right, sir.
But I do think this is kind of funny because we all know that there have been, all this talk about Snow White way back, right?
Sure.
From when they released that first image of those 7 like scamps.
So have you heard about that whole thing?
They're in the movie.
But it's not right. And I'm like, but it's not what I don't know who changed what first. Because if you remember the original picture situation, they did try promoting that as being who the 7 dwarves were.
Right.
But then very much a part of that discussion.
Yeah, but you know what? I wonder, and because this is, I think that Disney may well have been hoping to have the 7 dwarves be a surprise, and people would be expecting the 7 pirate scamps.
The 7 homies?
Yeah, whatever they are. I don't,
No.
Oh, by the way,
how did we get from talking about the Punisher to not talking about Disney?
How long have you been on the show?
Disney.
How long have you been on the show, bro? I stopped trying. I just try to at least keep the discussion, whatever it is.
Like, at least you guys aren't like all the rest of the guys talking about Disney. By the way, let's do this.
Let's talk about Snow White.
No, let me say this though, because I'm trying to keep us on topic. Speaking of what an a-hole Peter Dinklage is, how about that Toxic Avenger,
bro? So I saw it and I immediately sent it to you guys in the group chat. And
I
I
am
was
so
like,
pissed off about it.
so here's the
Dude,
thing. First off,
I had to ask if it was real.
the day they cast him, which was, by the way, he was cast in that like 10 years ago. Dead serious. That's not an exaggeration. And I thought the thing had fallen through because we hadn't seen anything. So all of a sudden, this trailer shows up, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And my first thought was, the Toxic Avenger traditionally has always been a very large dude, and the story is he goes from being a little nerdy guy getting beat up and by whatever to being thrown into a vat of chemicals to being this big, monstrous dude with a mop. And there's even a cartoon back in the day.
Yeah.
So when he walks out, I half expected this long shadow to make you think it was a tall giant man, and then he comes out, and they're trying to capture that energy of the old stuff. But the thing is, the old stuff was good and was classic because it was bad. But it was them trying to, like, they almost leaned into it back then. Like they were like, "This is the best we can do. We're going to lean into it."
Right.
This felt very much like they're trying very hard, and I don't mind it. I don't hold it against them. I think that they've got to be the ones to try to sit here and, oh yeah, ABJ says, "Wait, Bolivar Trask is playing what?" Yep. That's right. Okay, he's playing the Toxic Avenger, and his mop is literally radiation. It glows like it's like a magic MCU wand. Right? Like a giant magic wand.
I did not. In fact, until you said it, I did not realize it was a mop. I thought it was like I was going to ask you, why does he have like Gandalf's staff?
I thought it was a halberd or something like that.
Yeah, totally. Planet X says, when I saw the title of your video, I thought you were going to be talking about the last episode of Picard season 3 for a second. No, we've exhausted that. We're going to save those for arguments because Salty and I have long talked about our disagreements. So trust me, there's a list of real nerd fights topics that are being generated.
Yes, because you're wrong about that.
And likewise, he's like,
but speaking of wrong, so Peter Dinklage, I mean, look, he wants to undercut, no pun intended, all the little people in Hollywood by trying to say that.
I'm taking it back. You're allowed to say midgets now. Why do
you're allowed to say midgets now? Yeah, exactly.
Who's a little person who flat out is like, dude, just we're midgets, and I was like,
anyway. Whatever they're called, the magical tiny people that are scampering around Hollywood right now don't get any work because Peter Dinklage is out there telling Disney not to hire them. Then what does he do? He takes the one job for an overweight big guy like me. And, I mean, DEI has gone too far.
Wow. Right on, man. I hear you. Stanley says, I think little person sounds more insulting. Well, I kind of do too.
Actually, here's the thing. Little person is more insulting depending on who and how you're saying it. So, for example, like what I just said, as far as all the little people in Hollywood, I don't think I was being insulting. But if I was like, so, it's so nice to meet a little person.
Wow.
You see? It's very different.
Robert asked the question, can Salty Trekker name 2 characters from Stargate SG-1, though? Go.
The guy from the other show, there's the chick
my God.
that made the vagina joke in the first episode, and Teal'c.
Captain Carter, Daniel Jackson, Teal'c, General Hammond, Lieutenant Major Stillwell.
Hey, I remember Teal'c at least.
Dude, I loved that show. I watched
an episode of Stargate.
I watched Stargate when it first started on not Cinemax. It was not HBO. It was the other one that was a real big one.
Yeah, the show you were watching on Cinemax.
Showtime.
It was Showtime. Show about people putting things in the hole.
I watched Stargate when it started there. Planet X wants to remind you that the other show you're talking about is MacGyver, and that would be Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah, MacGyver. I was just thinking about
also, Mrs. Know-It-All chimed in. She loved Stargate as well. So, yeah, no, that show was amazing.
But Thomas Stargate only has a movie.
No, are you kidding me? I love the fact that they found
don't open that can of worms. Trust me.
Planet X. Hammond from Texas. Yeah, dude. No, totally. You had Teal'c's Braytak. Master Braytak used to call him Hammond from Texas. It was awesome. It was great. I love it. Yeah, man. That's good stuff. ABJ owns 14 seasons on DVD. Let's go, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Oh my
I've seen
god.
like the first 3 seasons.
Yeah,
So,
Planet X, Stargate SG-1, one of the best shows ever. I absolutely agree.
gosh.
so it
When
looks like
sci-fi
everybody-
when sci-fi reached a glut, and I no longer, and I was like, you know what, Star Trek Enterprise, I'm okay. I have to watch Eureka, Warehouse 13, and Stargate, and I was there for every episode, all the way through Atlantis, man.
all right. So, but I got to tell you, so I'm going to end the poll now because everybody's voted. The
Chef
question
Cook
was-
says, "Remember, Salty is old."
That is true.
Hey,
So
we all remember.
the,
Okay?
the
We all
question the question was, does Mr. Know-It-All want to be an influencer?
Oh God, no.
Oh
Hold
no!
Listen, hear me out.
Okay.
No got 12%. Yes got 38%.
Of course.
Okay,
And
there had to be
so-
another. Wasn't there another answer at all? Or
Yeah,
just yes or
so
no?
with 50% of the vote was
Oh, I hate you guys.
he already has his head up his ass.
Yay! You know what? I will take it. I will take it.
Boom.
So,
I will take that so much. Thank you guys very much. I
Yeah.
love all of you. Do you hear? Do you hear Mrs. Know-It-All laughing in the next room?
because she knows it's true.
She totally knows it's true.
She's like, every morning I have to
Literally,
pull it out.
My name, dude, my name is Mr. Know-It-All. If my head's not far up there, trust me, okay? No, it's awesome. Salty doesn't remember because he's old. True story. Yeah, man. Again, the chat's really talking about Stargate real fast. What do you guys remember about Stargate? This show? Anybody anything in particular?
Oh, I barely remember anything about Stargate.
I
was raising
enjoyed.
kids at the time, and
That's fair. No, that's fair. I wasn't. I was single.
Okay, so I enjoyed the first 3 seasons overall. However, it got very wash, rinse, repeat because every
go with that.
episode was, okay, let's go through the Stargate. Hey, look, we're at this mountain that happens to look like a mountain in Vancouver, BC, and it's an alien planet. And on this alien planet, aliens have a scar on their left ear, and they're bad because, it just became
The
same
scar is how the alien thing got into their head.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? No, for me, what I remember was the actor who plays Daniel Jackson. In the first 3 seasons, he tried super hard and he did an amazing James Spader impression. And by that I mean he basically had to create and flesh out an entire character based on this one time that James Spader played him. And then all he did was hold on to those things. And then finally, the 3rd season, they were like, you know what? We're gonna cut your hair. You're gonna just do whatever you want. And once in a while, he just to keep it like on character, he would slip into a James Spader-ism. But for the most part, he just became his own character finally. And like at this point, I'm like, that's not James Spader's character. At this point, it's that guy. He was a Canadian actor.
Exactly.
The funny thing is that, then fast forward to the 2000s and stuff, and James Spader makes this huge comeback as a TV actor. And it's like,
amazing
why
TV
he should have
actor,
just
too.
played Daniel Jackson.
That's hilarious. I would have been like, really? I bet you they approached him and he was like, no, I do movies. And then finally he was like, but I have to pay my rent.
Actually, no, he was like,
put in there, but
I don't think so. I mean, why would I, a Hollywood star, want to belittle myself by lowering myself to a television production of your magnitude? That's I'm pretty sure how he would answer.
I feel like it's exactly how it would go. Totally. We need to get that guy from TikTok that Gonzo loves so much to literally just give his rejection. I will never do television. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
If James Spader were on Cameo, I would pay him just to do a rejection letter from.
What I remember very distinctly about Stargate was that at some point after what you're talking about, so the first 3 seasons, it began to become, how do we do every Star Trek trope and cliche, but with this as our setup?
Right, and I know
they did time travel through the portal.
Yeah,
everything. They did space battles with the Asgardians, which are a whole other species from another galaxy. I mean, all kinds of stuff. They went deep. I mean,
I don't know if you heard, but Alex Kurtzman wants to do a Stargate reboot.
You're a liar.
And no, he does, except that he wants to rename it Carl, the
I
series.
hate you so much.
See, right now I am so tired and my brain is moving so slow. I was like, I took him seriously for just a millisecond.
No.
And I was like, And then I was,
Especially
I
Harley
was like,
Davidson.
oh no, wait, this is salty.
That's right. You're getting it. This is salty. I know. Oh my god. What other? Okay, well then, what are some other? Since we're feeling nostalgic, what are some old shows? Do you guys watch like the Canadian sci-fi shows, which was basically just the beginning of Sci-Fi Channel? Warehouse 13, my wife and I loved. We watched it as in we loved it at separate times and came together and watched the whole series.
I like the prequel series, Warehouse 12.
Did they do a Warehouse 12? Wasn't it?
No.
Was that a?
No,
Was that
it's
a? No. But they did no. But what's her face who played H.G. Wells? They did like 2 or 3 episodes.
Wait, someone played H.G. Wells in that show?
H.G. Wells is a woman, Helen Grace Wells.
Oh.
H.G. Wells, and she because women couldn't be writers. See, yeah, everyone wants to pretend like woke started yesterday. No, man, go back. Trust me, it's been around for a minute. And H.G. Wells, they did a couple episodes showing Warehouse 12 because H.G. Wells worked for Warehouse 12. That's what I thought you meant.
Totally not off topic, but off topic
Oh.
on the woke didn't start yesterday thing. I mean, has anybody ever watched the Flintstones? Anybody?
The movie or the show? Or the
The
cartoon?
show
The show
from the 1950s.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
Wilma
who
and
hasn't?
Betty were the only ones with half a brain in the entire freaking town.
That was the start of trying to
They
make
were woke
that
as
was the
F.
start of
I'm
making
sorry.
husbands and fathers look like nincompoop.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you throw down your new favorite word that you used in the during the after show?
The simp.
Homeboy drops down Miss Andry. He's like, I don't
Miss
like this.
Andry.
I don't like this therapy. And then afterwards he says to me, I think people are gonna give me a hard time about it. I said, do you even know our audience, bro? Okay, come on.
First of all, they don't know. What
I
the
said
word means.
that I was
That's what I
calling it
told
a
him
catch
too.
and smoke.
I literally said that. I said, bro, first off, I doubt most of them know what that means. We're good. Also, Stanley coming in with the appropriateness tells us and it was based on the honeymooners.
Right.
No.
It was based on the honeymooners. I remember that.
Hey, Ralphie boy. Yeah.
Jackie Gleason played a bit of a loser. He did. He did.
But yeah, so wokeness, so to speak, has been around as long as Hollywood has existed.
Well, because at the end of the day, it's because when it started, what we're describing was meant to be because comedy is about irony. Men weren't, and that at that day and age weren't like that.
Right.
He was a working class. So let's go with what's his face, Gleason. He was a working class bus driver guy who probably had a bit of a temper, and they made them cartoonishly such because everybody who watched the show at the time said, "Oh yeah, I have that neighbor."
But here's the difference between, I'll say, as far as the way that woke Hollywood, and I don't even like using the word woke because, you guys know woke doesn't really mean feminine.
No.
But that's what everybody calls it now, so whatever.
They took a word and then changed the meaning to it.
Yeah, but the difference between back in the days of Jackie Gleason and like when you get to like the 1990s and 2000s is that Jackie Gleason's character, and the same could be said of Fred Flintstone, they genuinely loved and cared about their family more than anything else in the world.
Yep.
Homer Simpson is just an idiot, right? Peter Griffin is freaking evil, so it's like it just progressively gets worse and worse and worse to where it's not just that the guy's kind of, okay, he's not the sharpest tack, but he provides by being a tough, manly man. And, his wife has to do the thinking for him. That's kind of the funny thing about the old shows. In the new stuff, it's just, he's just a loser.
Yeah, you're right. Daniel Stenson says, watch and review Odyssey 5. I just had to look up what Odyssey 5 is. It's got RoboCop in it. I'll watch it. I'd happily watch that. At least
he
watch an
mentioned
episode
it
or
to
two.
me earlier.
Yeah, it's about these astronauts who, while they're in space on a mission, witness the destruction of the Earth. And now what do you do? And I'm like, okay, that's just the pull quote. I'm like, let's go. I'm totally down. Homer is very smart, Thomas Pott says. Of course.
Notice how he wrote smart.
Nice. Dude, the guy, you have to have some intelligence to work at a nuclear power plant. His only job is, in case of emergency, push this button.
Right.
That's his one job. Otherwise, you can sit there.
Well, and remember, he was the efficiency guy for a while. He was the safety inspector for a while. He's had a bunch of different jobs, but his main job is to just press the button if there's an emergency.
Mm-hmm. True that.
But man,
He
Simpson.
was never jobless.
Well, that's true.
Was he ever jobless?
But that's actually, there have been a couple of times where he would get fired, but then by the end of the episode, he get rehired.
Yeah.
Do anybody remember Space Above and Beyond?
I remember the name. I never.
So it was the first. It was the first like hyper military in space type show where they were uniformed in the Marines and the whatever, like to the point that they were raised in space and the whole bit. I think it was like loosely based on some Heinlein book. And it was such. Planet X says RoboCop versus Terminator. Who wins? Let's go. I pick Terminator.
Oh, you would. All
right. Let's do it. Go ahead, Salt. You can go first.
No, you picked, so you go first.
Me? Why? So you can know my argument?
Yes. Because
all right.
So you get
Here we go. Salty, you go first.
No, hold on. No.
You know why? Because you said, "Oh, please," which tells me you got something to say about it, which I want to hear, and you already know what you're going to say, so say it anyway.
All right. So, first of all, we have to establish which variant of RoboCop are we talking about. There's the Peter Weller RoboCop, and then there's the reboot.
No.
They're supposed to. No, not that guy. Not that jackface. No. I know what you're talking about. No.
Okay. So
the
you
original
want the
Peter Weller.
The original
OG.
RoboCop.
That's fine.
Yeah. I'm not bringing any other Terminators but Arnold, so don't sweat it.
All right. Now, at first glance, it would seem like the Terminator has an advantage because the only weapon that RoboCop brings to the fray is his fully automatic machine pistol, which, while could definitely do some damage, is not the kind of excessive firepower that you would want against the T-800. However, what you're not taking into account is that while Terminator doesn't really intrinsically have any weapons either, and so it would be reasonable to assume that he wouldn't be able to get anything more powerful than any weapons that RoboCop would have at his disposal. And we've seen both of them are quite, in fact, bulletproof. In fact, even the only time RoboCop took any damage from weapons was military-grade weaponry that it would not be easy to get. Like when the Terminator goes to the gun store and says, "Give me the Uzi 9mm," he's not getting a freaking tank gun there. So as far as bullets, both of them aren't going to be able to do much damage. Now, what have we seen aside from that? Well, that's where it gets interesting because while Terminator has basically defeated his foes in the later, obviously he was defeated by Sarah Connor, but he defeated his foes by the narrowest of margins later through the use of advanced weaponry of some kind or another. So, for example, putting the grenade inside the T-1000 or taking his own power
you have
cell
30
and running it
seconds.
into the TX. RoboCop defeated a superior robot in the Ed 209 with nothing but hand-to-hand combat. And RoboCop actually has shown on screen that he can beat another robot and that he is in fact strong enough to bend the metal of Terminator into a pretzel like he did with the guns of the Ed 209. I rest my case.
Okay, no, that's fair. It's good stuff.
All right, that sounded pretty good.
I'm going to maintain the rules we haven't told anybody about yet, even though we're not playing that game just yet.
We're not playing that game.
I'm going to stick positive and stay. I'm going to stay strictly into my argument. I'm not going to enter that fray until our rebuttals. Here we go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. So for me, I think all this what it boils down to is hold on. I have to figure out how to make this thing do what it's supposed to do. There we go.
Here, I'll do.
You're good. All right. So I feel like the argument for me becomes, who is Terminator? Terminator is known as having he actually mentions it's a polymimetic titanium alloy skeleton. Now,
Point of order.
anything and if anything,
Oh,
I didn't interrupt you. What's this
can't
point
do
of
that.
order?
Can't do that yet.
But
You gotta. He's
No,
still, he's still
you
making
can
his
respond when
statement.
it's. I haven't finished saying my opening.
Fine. I've reached. Go ahead. Continue.
You're
He doesn't
good.
even have his opening statement yet.
Okay. The Terminator is also programmed for one thing and one thing only, and that's whatever its mission is. So in this case, let's assume, for the sake of this discussion, that its mission is to fight RoboCop. Similarly, whatever. Then he's going to go on said mission. He's also comes from a far superior set of superior in time, meaning if you got time travel, that automatically establishes a level of superiority in your technology. So as a result, I believe the technology itself lends itself to the idea that Terminator has already at his disposal a different set of information. Terminator, being a time traveler, would know very much about the RoboCop creation from back in the day, whatever that is. And it would be like, it was a not superior, it was a completely a bad version of an early attempt by humanoids to create cybernetic organisms. Okay, so trust me, I have a feeling that he would totally be that way. Next, when it comes to facing technology itself, meaning actual things, there's only one thing that really stopped Terminator in the end. And that was, and I'm talking about the first movie. I'm not getting into all the others. I'm sticking to Terminator, just regular Terminator.
Yep.
It was that hydraulic press that had so many tons and tons of pounds of whatever, thousands of pounds of weight and pressure that was essentially squashed him. And even then, they had to essentially pull the circuit out to make sure there was no chance of possibly coming out. That little circuit that was in the hand that they kept became the source of the future thing. But we're dealing with the movie itself, the main one itself. I feel like Terminator, because of his myopic attitude, meaning he's focused, he would do everything possible, whereas any opponent that he would face would have to be equally as brutal. And I don't know that there are many opponents that are willing and capable of competing at that level of aggression and dedication and focus. That is my argument.
All right. That sounded like two good arguments here. Now I'm gonna give a chance for Salty there to do his rebuttal. I mean, he's saying that, out of pure technology and the sheer determination, I would like to say there's a human side to RoboCop as well. Is that a factor that is going to be to his advantage or not?
Well, you have to understand that the entire basis of Mr. Know-It-All's argument is from a false assumption, and that is that somehow the Terminator is going to know all the details of RoboCop's tech at the time, because he's just assuming, of course, that they're coming from another future timeline.
I don't know if that was his main one.
That's ahead of Detroit from RoboCop. I would submit that this is a leftover Terminator from 1984 that happened to who happened to survive until the then future world of 1987 in Detroit, and therefore did not know.
Hold on, you talking about old man Terminator, the one from that movie with the Genesis movie where he had gray hair?
Genesis.
How he was like, I'm just making sure. I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to understand. That's what you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if we're going by because the problem is that once you get past the Terminator 3, then I mean, basically Detroit never happened and the world exploded.
True.
So,
true story.
Okay, so I mean, we got to come up with a scenario where the two of them can meet. Which means either the Terminator went into.
All right, so I'll set that premise. How about the premise? Okay, wouldn't it be fair then that they showed up in 1985 when both movies came out, or around the same era?
Well, the RoboCop is specifically in 1987. Terminator takes place in 1984.
84, exactly.
So that's why I said that it would make sense that the Terminator. Let's say in this hypothetical world, the Terminator successfully kills Sarah Connor. But remember, Judgment Day isn't until 1997. And so in 1987, then Detroit does the RoboCop program, which was later scrapped. And so Skynet didn't even know about it because the entire RoboCop program was scrapped after the prototype. And so there'd be no reason to prepare a Terminator for fighting something that they didn't think he was going to have to worry about. Now, there's also the factor that it's obvious that my astute opponent here doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, because the
Hey,
Cyberdyne
we would
model.
like to keep this sportsmanlike conduct here.
I'm being civil. I'm the Cyberdyne Model
No side chat.
101, or commonly called the T800, is not, in fact, a polymimetic alloy. It is a hyperalloy combat chassis. Now, the polymimetic alloy that he's talking about is the T1000, not the T800.
Okay.
So you got to.
So
his statements about tech
rebuttal.
So my rebuttal is his statements about technology is obviously flawed, and I would dare say that if you look at a realistic timeline where the two of them meet, he wouldn't have advanced knowledge of the RoboCop. I don't think either one of them would see the other one coming.
All right. I mean, he makes an interesting point there, because if you're going by the year that it was made, 1984 to the year RoboCop was made, 1987, he wouldn't know that this was created, or would he? How old is this? I mean,
well,
it's like he could have known that.
We didn't set this up in advance, as far
right. Well, okay.
That's okay.
And then on top of that, hold on. And on top of that, what was the other rebuttal you said? His alloy wasn't the
polymimetic alloy that he's talking about was the
T1000. That was. All right. Okay, Mr. Know-It-All. Sun's out, guns out.
Okay. Here we go. All right. So when you really stop and think about it, then let's address the big elephant in the room. RoboCop essentially is a mentally ill human being in a shell. A titanium shell, which essentially, compared to hypermetal or whatever you want to call it, even if it's not the polymimetic, it's still futuristic metal. Even if he went to the past and stayed around, his endoskeleton would essentially last forever. They established this very clearly in the movie. And that's one of the reasons why he had to ultimately be melted in order to destroy the technology. So that addresses that. Now, when it comes to facing RoboCop, because again, part of this whole rebuttal is that I'm going to now attack your premise. At the end of the day, RoboCop is a human being who loses it completely. Also, he has three things that are going to keep him from ever being able to do any kind of substantial damage whatsoever to Terminator, especially because Terminator is not going to play fair. That's his prime directives. Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, and uphold the law. Terminator ain't got no compunction. Terminator will sit here and go, oh, cool, hang on. And go get children, go get women, knock down buildings, put people in danger. And then while you're busy being a cop, because you're programmed to and your code makes you, he's just going to go, cool, and literally go in and start ripping that titanium alloy like it's tissue paper and hurt that little human brain, because that's still there. That's still fragile. You can still cause trauma to it. Nothing says it can't be damaged like that. So at the end of the day, big, strong hypermetal still defeats tinfoil titanium. And you're right, no weapons, no guns, but who cares? Terminator don't play fair. He's going to walk around and just take out whoever he wants, because you're still a police officer at your core. Unless, of course, you do the classic like that he does, which is, let's just say, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say you go, there's only one way to defeat him. And you electrocute yourself to fry your stuff, which, by the way, is from the second movie, but I'm not going to go. I'm still going to give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. And then what is he going to do?
All right, you got 30 seconds.
And what is he going to do? When he's down, he's still going to get crushed in the head. Done.
All right.
God. All right. I don't know, man. It looks like, okay, so I don't have like a little of a point grid to go on, though. He kind of has a little edge over what you were. Hold on. Like a little edge of what he's saying, because he still had I think the weakness of RoboCop is that he's still human inside.
So, yeah, and I agree. I do agree. Without being competitive anymore, genuinely, that's the reason why I jumped on. Because at first I wanted RoboCop. At
But you
first
know
I was
what?
like,
If that
RoboCop,
were
and I
the
was like, wait a
case,
minute,
then
time out.
Sarah Connor couldn't have won.
What are you talking
Just-
about?
I mean, because
Hold on.
because
Sarah
technically
Connor didn't
T1000
win.
could have acted like Omni Man and
Real
just
quick,
you know.
Sarah Connor didn't win.
yes, she did. She crushed him.
No, that's what won.
Right.
And he at the
But I'm saying
time
it's the
he
human
defeated
spirit,
himself.
the human determinism, the fact that you know what the T800 does if you short circuit him, he stops. You know what
No, he
RoboCop
doesn't.
does? He fights through it.
On
And-
three times he was short circuited and he rebooted because he has a spare CPU.
Yeah, after being dead for 20 minutes. However, I do
It's all
want to
good,
point
man.
out. Hold on. Before you render your final decision, I do have one
All
very.
right,
important-
there we
Thank
go.
you,
We got,
Planet
hold
X.
on,
Thank you,
before you
Planet X. I
continue, we
appreciate you,
got
sir.
Planet X with $5 saying, "Great debate, guys. Great debate."
Yay! Thanks a lot, brother.
So very important to point this out because.
All
you're
right,
trying
hold
to
on. Before you
relative-
continue, hold on. Before you continue, and I don't want to lose you. This is your closing argument.
Okay.
All right. So this is your nail in the coffin
Well,
argument.
since I had to go first at the beginning, then he has to go first in closing arguments. That's
Who's
how
making this up? Who's making this up?
I just did.
no, but you were on a roll. I want you to.
All right,
no, you're on a
so-
roll. Continue.
So in the end, what he's trying to suggest is that the human will is less, is less capable of the processing power of the mighty computer, which on the
Yeah.
surface sounds like a logical argument. It really does, until you realize that even the best supercomputers made to this day can't figure out that a human hand has 5 fingers.
Oh, you know what? And I agree.
You
Hold
know,
on. Are you done? Are you
No,
done?
no, I'm not done yet.
Because I'm willing to give that.
Yeah.
Concede.
So
Okay,
don't
so-
give me the the Terminator's so freaking
No,
smart
you're
and RoboCop is so
All right,
stupid
all right, all
because
right.
he's a
Absolutely.
human thing.
Absolutely.
He's on the
Excuse
right
me,
track. Keep going.
I'm trying to go here, buddy.
Yes.
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
all right. So
ahead.
the
You're good.
other
Go ahead.
thing, of course, is that my esteemed colleague here seems to
Yes.
think
Mhm.
that the Terminator is made out of a superior future metal, where RoboCop.
You're the one that hypermetal, not me.
I did not interrupt you. Shut up.
Oh, you said hypermetal.
Yeah. And
I was
so-
going by which
I-
one
All right,
is it?
all right,
Was
all right,
it-
Mr.
and
Roldall.
was your-
Mr. Roldall's
and-
going to get some points docked for interrupting when he's not supposed to be. This is his
I was
closing
trying to
argument.
figure out which argument I'm on, but I can't. I can only argue with the
He's
argument
still
that is made.
going. He's
You gotta
still
take- gotta
going.
take
Actually,
notes. Gotta take
Technically,
notes.
real fast. Technically,
You gotta
this
be
is
listening and
this
taking notes.
is going against the rules because now he's adding more information to his old argument.
No,
I
I'm
made my
actually
argument-
getting to your
Hang on.
point here.
I made my argument based on the argument he made. If he's going to
So
change
I'm
the argument
responding
he
to
made,
your argument.
that's
I'm
a
not
response is-
changing-
Yeah, but you're
All right.
altering the
Apparently,
parameters
I've
that I
already lost
responded
control
by.
of this courtroom,
Yeah.
and I'm
I'm
going to
just
have to
saying
hold
you're
both
I'm
of you.
just
in
saying
contempt
but
of
you're
court.
arguing based on like you're not telling me
Well,
you can't
because
change the parameters that I do my
Your
rebuttal based
statement.
on.
Hold on. Here's what I'm basing this on. If you'll let
Okay.
me get a word in here,
Sure.
is that your suggestion was that the Terminator is still made out of some kind of futuristic metal that is far superior than a titanium alloy that RoboCop is made out of. Correct?
No.
That's
No,
not
no.
what you
That's,
said?
listen,
No,
listen. Hold
that's
on.
not what I said.
Here,
What
I'll
I
say
said-
this. You got to move on from that speculation. That's only
right,
Well,
speculation.
real quick,
Well, that is what
I
he said.
No, wrong. That is not what I said.
I-
I will not
I'm-
allow you to mischaracterize what I said.
Well,
What
you
I
can.
said was what I had said originally was it was a polymimetic metal.
All right,
You
time
then-
out.
hold on.
Hold
You
on,
then-
hold on,
Which
Mr.
you were
Know-it-all.
wrong about.
You
You
then
at least can say
correct
you were
I'm
wrong
about
me.
to
about
cut
that.
both of you off here in a minute.
What's up? Well, hold on. But he asked me a question. Am I not allowed to respond to the question?
No. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. If you are going to ask him a question, you need to let him answer it. It can't be a rhetorical question.
Right. And so
So he's going to answer your question. What was the question again?
So
Did
are
I not
you
say-
maintaining then that it is made out of liquid metal as opposed to the hyper combat capacity?
Okay,
No.
so he's under the he's under the assumption and speculative that you're saying he's got some hyper metal alloy or whatever,
Right.
whatever you said about that. Is
And
that
so
is that your
that's why-
question?
so unlike my esteemed colleague,
objection?
I tried to verify information, and I did find that in the comic books on the Terminator, it is in fact revealed that the T-800's frame is made out of a titanium steel alloy. In other words, they're made out of the same frickin' stuff.
Okay.
All right. All right.
First off, that is not.
Okay. He has time to respond.
Thank you. I refuse to even acknowledge that because, as I have established from the beginning in my argument, and unlike my competitor who wants to just cheat, I am not going to change my argument. My argument began that I am basing my information and my arguments on the movies. He's more than welcome to bring in, I don't know, extracurricular nonsense if he wants.
Right.
I refuse to. I'm only addressing the movies.
Yeah,
and
we
also,
are addressing the movies as it was stated in the beginning.
To now answer what he had said, he asked the question, what did I say? Maintain? No, I misspoke and you corrected me. And when you corrected me, I went with hypermetal. Now, at no point have you sat and taken the opportunity to define said metal because that's not your argument. You're not defending or talking about Terminator. You're supposed to be working on RoboCop. Just because your guy's made of tin foil and has a human brain that's fallible,
you got 10 seconds
with me.
Your rebuttal.
I think my thing stands. My guy's superior and wipe the floor with him because I got no moral compunction. Terminator will just wreck shop.
Okay, you have a chance to rebuttal that.
He's full of crap.
And Daniel says it best.
Human will for the win.
Get out.
Oh man.
That's if you're telling a story in Hollywood.
I will just finish with this: is that if you seriously want to suggest that because the machine doesn't have feelings, that the machine doesn't have morals, that somehow makes it superior, then you have elevated the machine above us, sir. And I refuse to take that position. Man over machine, 100%.
Okay, that sounds like a really strong argument. Go ahead.
As he's going, he can go to the grave with his moral superiority, whereas I choose the superior killing machine because the question was Terminator versus RoboCop, not who plays Parcheesi or who will make peace. Okay, I don't care. Terminator don't care about your dreams and your hopes. Terminator's got one goal: obliterate the half-broken machine, which happens to have some faulty human components built in. That's
all right. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? So who made the better argument?
Bradley actually points out something very interesting: is that the Terminator can't learn anything unless it has its CPU unlocked. So that's a problem.
I would beg to differ. The movie would disagree with that. It learned very quickly where it made patterns.
It had preset strategies.
What's your face?
It did not learn.
It's the same preset strategies from what? A future time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Three Rules of Robotics. That's okay, Mr. Three Rules. You go ahead and just keep defending everybody. While you're defending everybody, I'm smacking you up and down.
Hey, last time I checked, Arnold Schwarzenegger was not on the board of OCP, so it's not going to be a problem.
Nice. Yeah. That's right.
You forget about the other directive.
Get down.
All right, so Judge.
Oh my God, very cool.
All right. Both of you made very compelling arguments. There was a time where you guys had to take some points away from both of you for interrupting. You kind of went on the wayside because you guys looked like Mr. Know-it-all at some point had to take his head out his ass and just continue with all the onslaught that he had buried in his ass.
No, because the thing is, I'm watching.
However, Salty over here did go and look like he was cheating, trying to drag out information that had nothing to do with the movie when we did say the movie.
I was just
both of you, hold on. I'm the one here now.
This
is my floor.
Your Honor, now. If I may, I just want
my floor. This is my floor now.
No.
What I'm saying is, both of you went off the rails just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna go with Terminator by half a point because I can only imagine the Terminator being a sense of an Omni-Man and just not caring about anything, going after women and children and everything. Now,
Thomas says impeach the judge.
Well, I'm not saying
That's
anything.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm the best judge, but that's my judgment.
That's awesome. Planet X
Well,
said, I call it a
res-
draw, in my opinion. Both good points. Thanks, Planet X. No, I appreciate that too. It's always done in the spirit of good fun. We love doing this. I had a good time. You actually make really good arguments, sir. About seriously, you make good arguments. That's the one thing I do love is that we really have no dog in this hunt. It's like whatever, unless it's Andor, then I know you absolutely do.
yeah. Well, and the funny thing is that I'll tell you, I think it would have been because I'll be completely. So now that we're not in the courtroom,
Yeah, this is over.
Yes, if I were given the opportunity to pick a side, I would pick Terminator. And but you did not use the argument that I would have used.
Go ahead. What's the argument? What would you use?
Yeah, I want to know what this is.
Oh,
Game,
very,
same
very
game.
simple. Okay, so you could argue.
So you're saying my judgment was right by half a point? Then?
No, because I think based on the arguments used.
Based on the arguments used, understood.
Yeah, based on the arguments used, I would go with RoboCop because I do think RoboCop demonstrated superior physical strength, and they both appear to be made out of alloy that's at least as strong. And by the way, RoboCop is covered in armor. Terminator just has a armored skeleton.
So does Wolverine.
I was going to say there's a tiny short Canadian who has shown that's pretty darn good.
Right. However, here's what you completely missed, buddy. So you could easily argue that both of them are cybernetically enhanced beings that could obviously, they could shoot a fly off of a thimble from 100 yards, right? They're both incredibly good with their weapons and all that. So why didn't the Terminator just shoot RoboCop in the face?
That's a good question.
End of context.
Because would you like me to tell you why?
Yeah.
We established in the beginning we weren't going to use weapons, like guns. Otherwise, I probably would have done that. We were literally not using guns.
You see, that's where you fell for it because that wasn't. I didn't.
You fell for the largest argument.
No, you fell for it, you sucker. No, I didn't say, we can't use guns. I said in my opening argument that guns were going to be moot because both of them were. We've seen RoboCop take all sorts of shots.
Sure.
But he never got shot in the face.
I don't need a gun. He can stomp. He stomps real good. Terminator stomps real good.
No, but you know what? RoboCop has that titanium alloy whatever helmet that's protecting him. So I don't.
But it's also round and hollow in the middle. Whereas the skeleton goes the way the skeleton goes, man. We can do bend and break stuff. No, trust me. I'm telling you right now. That's a helmet at its core. It's just a helmet.
The helmet looks more reinforced than the Terminator's skull.
Also, if you notice the first movie, and I know it's just bad VFX, so I'm literally leaning on bad VFX. So when the dude stabs Terminator or RoboCop in the chest, it literally looks like tinfoil caving in.
Oh yeah,
the metal spike, which is just bad '80s VFX. But I thought it was like.
But then, you also have like Terminator, who can literally lift up the trailer of a Mack truck and shrug it off like it was nothing.
Oh, wait a minute.
And yet Kyle Reese hits
we've got
his face with a crowbar, and it's like, oh.
So ABJ said, Mr. Know-It-All won with the part cheesy argument.
Oh my god. Oh, this is awesome. I can't wait though. I'm excited. I'm excited for the games. These are gonna be good. These are gonna be real good.
Yeah, this was done way on the fly too, so there was no prep for any. This was just
Thomas. You need a whole stream to debate the rebel scum being evil. He's talking about Andor, which, by the way, that is absolutely on the fight queue. Absolutely, we're going to be discussing that. Well, at Expo, RoboCop has dick shot accuracy. Nice.
Yeah, well, that is true. RoboCop does have dick shot accuracy. We do know that.
Nice.
That is.
Oh, Stanley says OCP eventually develops the T100. that's that whole time travel thing.
Yeah, because there's always somehow.
Hey, look, Botrox. I haven't seen Botrox in a while.
Well, and Chief Cook, so the interesting thing, so you say, what's the main job of the Terminator? Kind of implying, because the Terminator, its job is to kill, right? Where RoboCop is to enforce the law.
To protect, right. To enforce
but
the law.
You also have to take into account that the Terminator is designed to kill humans, not cyborgs. So it
I mean, that's a flimsy argument, but I get you.
no, but it's just like
Hold on. Then it'll only attack your human parts.
Hold on. There was only one Terminator, and that was the TX in Terminator 3, was the first Terminator designed to terminate other Terminators. So the Terminator did not have detailed files, as Arnold would say, on fighting cyborgs.
No, it just had detailed files on everything else. But
he had detailed files on human anatomy.
And I'm sorry, RoboCop's got a brain.
Well, obviously, if he had a good defense attorney, maybe
we're gonna have to call in Matt Murdock.
Yeah,
for real.
Hey, that was my argument, but I got stuck with Mr. RoboCop, so I think I gave him a pretty good defense, to be honest.
By the way, that's why do you think I jumped on Terminator? Because I felt like if I got RoboCop, I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna argue that.
No, I'm gonna say that you did a really good defense.
It was excellent. It was excellent, sir. Seriously.
Legit. Naturally would love to say humans over robots. Naturally.
No, absolutely. No. And I'm very much that way too.
Well, I stole that argument from Samuel T. Cogley, attorney at law. And we'll see if either of you know who that is. No. Probably don't.
True story.
Yeah, see. But I'll bet you that at least one person in the chat knows who Samuel T. Cogley
I'll buy that for $1.
No, that's not Samuel T. Cogley.
I'll buy that for $1.
The funny is, Gons, you look just like that guy. I'm saying.
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hold on. I think I'm having a memory. It's something to do with Star Trek. I don't know. I remember it's something to do with Star Trek. I just don't remember if it was old or next gen. To be honest, the name's really ringing a bell right this second.
Well, Donna knows who it is.
All right. Well, go ahead. Who is he?
It is Captain Kirk's attorney.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I knew. Yeah. That's awesome. Awesome.
And in fact, he says, you are either an escaped mental patient who's gotten away from his keeper, or Samuel T. Cogley, attorney at law. And his answer was right on both counts.
That's awesome. I love the fact that they always leaned very heavy into the old West like bones of Star Trek, because the Westerns were huge at the time. So they were like, it's just like that, but in space. It's the same thing. They sold it so hard.
What is this here? What the Indy Tigers?
Terminator has one goal. Kill Sarah Connor. No, wait. No, wait, 10 years. Kill John Connor. No, wait. Become governor. No, wait. Don't get in trouble with the household help. Court martial. Right on, bro.
Yes.
Best response all night.
You are fired, Mr. Know-It-All.
Oh, no.
I hear you. No, I understand. You know what? You should fire me from this live stream. I will. I don't think I should do this live stream anymore.
This is it.
I think that's this was the catalyst.
Honestly, I think it's funny, and we don't have to debate or play the game, but could the Borg assimilate Terminator? I don't think so, because I think they would see him as inferior technology.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, the Terminator wouldn't have anything to offer the Borg.
He wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a matter about how nobody has a chance against the Borg. It's just that the Borg, the Borg would have, the reason they would assimilate is because they would have an advantage to do so.
Yes.
Right.
And there's no advantage to assimilating ancient technology by their standards.
So Stanley, the question's good and the question's valid. What is the new format going to be? The new format's going to be what you just witnessed, only a much more organized and structured version of that. Yeah. Which is we take two topics, we choose, we try to choose our own, and you can pick any way you want for who gets to pick it, but you pick your side of the argument. The first round, there's 3 rounds. I like to affectionately call them the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good round is you must defend and establish your argument. Period. That's all you do. The second round is that is when you attack your opponent's argument. And then the judge at any time, by the way, can ask clarifying questions. They can go. Points are given kind of indiscriminately, or as Gons like to point out when we were talking through this, the points are like whose line is anyway. They don't really matter, but they help us sort of keep the game going forward and give us structure.
Whoever the judges can determine points any way they want, as long as they can figure out who the winner is.
Correct. And then you have a final. Then the third round is what we call the ugly. And during the third round, it's called a wild card round. The judge makes up on the fly. Generally speaking, we try to make it relevant to what we're talking about. A new thing, and whoever has the lowest points rather, gets to pick their side of the argument of that argument, and you get one shot, speed round style, to tell that argument as quickly to do it from there. So yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. Why would they do that? Although, if you look at the animated series, tribbles can be pretty rough.
Well, and we actually saw. Actually, you haven't seen the short track with them, have you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So the tribbles took
because that had
down
what's his face.
Starship
That I know. That had
in
what's
very
his face
short
in it.
order. So the question would be, honestly, Indy, if the tribbles could get to a food supply on a Borg ship before they were annihilated, the tribbles win.
Ho, 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 ho.
I love ABJ's highly cynical stance.
Yeah,
I know, right?
It really does my heart proud. Oh man! By the way, I hope someone's paying attention because these are actually some of these ideas are pretty good. I don't know about the Wilkes Booth one, but because that feels. I don't know that we're going to get into history. I think we're going to keep this pop culture and like sci-fi and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah.
And
Also, I think some of our favorite stuff is going to be we don't know.
We now know, thanks to the reports, Lee Harvey Oswald had nothing to do with JFK's assassination.
Have you seen that really bad AI video that shows the driver turning on JFK in the car?
Oh no!
Oh, it's terrible.
No.
Somebody took the footage of them driving and literally has AI put the driver goes, and I was like, what? And the AI made it go like, boo, like his head like recoils back, and I was like, oh my god,
no.
yeah, it's so bad. I
It
was
was
like,
Jackie.
we live in a rough world. Yeah, it was the Jack. Oh god, it was Jackie's like, I'm so tired. How about
Told you to take out the church for the very last time.
Nice. If you debate John Wilkes Booth, we got to have Alex on the show.
No. Oh yeah, we'll have Alex on the show for the debate. Will be, did Russia invade Ukraine?
Planet X asks, wasn't there some comic or something that had assimilated tribbles? I don't know, and that's rough. I need to look that up. That would be so bad if they.
I don't know. Like it's kind of funny because you think about it. If they assimilated a tribble, would the tribbles? First of all, it would be pointless because they only assimilate humanoids from what we've seen. But if they did assimilate a tribble, would they suddenly develop the tribble's ridiculous sex drive and all the Borgs would just start humping each other?
No, but the thing is, the tribble don't actually hump. They're born. They're asexually. They just reproduce.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time,
that would be an amazing dude. They could totally assimilate tribbles and unleash them like a plague on. You know what? And the tribbles are assimilating while they're going.
Yeah.
Just let them loose on a world. Let them eat everything that's there for the humanoids are eating, and poof. And
they do have the patience.
Oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
They do have the patience to let the tribbles do the job.
That is arguably not a crazy idea. It really isn't. When you stop and think about it, that's not crazy.
And Stan, no, well, the funny thing about the Borg is that the original concept of the Borg was the Borg were their own species, and they reproduced the same way as any other species. But then once their babies were born, they immediately started putting cybernetic implants on them. However, they retconned that in Best of Both Worlds to where now they started assimilating people.
Thomas Bott says you better do the Andor debate soon, or Mr. Nordahl is going to make fake AI videos of the Empire committing crimes.
Yeah, because we all know the Empire did nothing wrong.
I'm totally down. Oh my god, I love that. It's gonna be good. Actually, it is one of the first ones we had planned too. Like it should be. I think next time we get together, we're recording that one actually.
What, Andor?
Yeah, that was that. Well, oh no, because when Andor comes out, so it's next month. It'll be next month. Right. We're doing it in honor of Andor, the second season of Andor. So yeah. It'll. By the way, Nerd Fights Night will always be tonight. It'll be Wednesday nights.
Right. So Wednesday evening,
those episodes will drop. And by the way,
we're talking about doing the release earlier in the day, though.
So it can be. We don't have to. That's just that's a. generally speaking,
Well, I was
6
just
p.m.
concerned because I don't know what Gonzo's work schedule is like, and I don't know how much your work schedule fluctuates. So,
Well, and remember, they're not going to be live like this either.
Right.
They're going to be pre-recorded, but we are going to be in the live chat watching them. You have our guarantee. One or more of us will always be on for the live chat to talk with you guys. Make fun of us, whatever, and and sort of we're not going to spoil what happens in the show, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be an opportunity for us to kind of grow as a community, and I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah. But
fun.
so are we going to? So are we going to stick with this time slot, or are we going to move it to earlier in the day?
I honestly, I just have to check and see what. I have to look at it, but I'm down.
That
for
will be to be announced. TBH.
Yeah, I figure super
TBA,
late. I don't know if super late. Yeah, we'll take a look. We'll take a look at it. It'll be on the announcements that the promos and stuff we put out. The other thing I will be putting. They'll only be on 3 channels, which is going to be the Salty Plus, Mr. Know-It-All channel, and the actual Nerd Fights channel from then on. The new show.
Yeah. So Attack Tribble on Picard season 3.
Were there attack tribbles?
I don't.
Oh, that's right. In the one they found in the Daystrom Institute.
Oh, that's right.
Jumped at the screen or in the window and had like a weird kind of gross vagina.
You saw the Tribble's mouth.
Yeah, it was rough, but it looked bad. It was literally like this weird shape with teeth, and I'm like, ew. Yeah, I was like, that's just.
And all of a sudden, you started thinking of the Dune popcorn bucket.
Really, what the Tribbles are. So Tribbles are like the Gremlins. Something happened in the future, and they became critters.
There you go. Oh my god!
You got the movie Critters.
That was awesome. We will. Oh god, I was literally about to hit the same thing. We absolutely will do that. Someone needs to set up Streamlab donations notifications on here. Yeah, no, we're gonna work. We're gonna work all those details
all
out.
of that. Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
But it'll be individualized to the channel. So if wherever you're watching it, either Nerd Fights or whatever, it's gonna go where it needs to go. Trust me.
So
I don't know, man. I feel like they would both be like, it's rough because Moopsy eats everything.
Moopsy, I think, would.
I think Moopsy would eat the Tribble.
Well, yeah, but the question is,
he'll get full, and there's lots of Tribbles.
I don't know. We saw Moopsy eat a lot.
Yeah,
Moopsy did eat a lot.
I mean, yeah, they do.
And Moopsy ate creatures many times its own size, and it did not get any bigger.
It's true. Whereas the Tribbles just like get the, you know what you get when a Tribble eats too much? A fat Tribble. Right on, man. Is anybody excited for Mortal Kombat 2?
Huh?
Is anybody excited for Mortal Kombat 2, which has Carl Urban starring as Johnny Cage?
I only saw an image of that.
What?
Me too.
Like, huh?
Oh yeah.
And then
first off, blew me away. No clue why. Because first off, Carl Urban looks like the man. Looks like he's 60. A well kept 60, but he's got that like old man grit going on. Yeah. And I'm like, how are you supposed to be this like young Hollywood star martial artist? Yes, Stanley, Carl Urban. And I'm like,
yes.
I don't know how that works, but I guess it does. He did McCoy justice.
Carl Urban, I genuinely believe that when Carl Urban was born, on that day in the hospital, he was like, wah.
With his little accent, sounded like wanker.
Wah, mate.
That's right.
You know what he said? He said, I just came out of me mom's cut.
There you go. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Carl Urban, 52 years old.
52 years old.
Is this like a retiring Johnny Cage who, what? I don't know how you do this.
You don't know. Maybe.
We'll
really? Carl Urban is younger than me? He looks like he's like 30 years older than me.
He totally does look rough. He looks like the guy who played.
He looked old in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the guy who plays what's his face? Who plays He plays Negan.
All right, so
Oh yes. Oh, what's his name? He played the Conqueror in
he looks
now,
old.
it took me a minute to
He
find it.
looks
So
old.
real quick. So it took
Go
me a
for
minute
it,
to find
go
it,
for
but I did get a donation through PayPal from Mercer.
Okay.
And so he said, "You really think the Empire did nothing wrong? It was illegitimate when it started. Even the corporation cops were corrupt. Luthen knew it. Well, Luthen was a terrorist."
Oh, gosh.
I mean, if Osama bin Laden told you that the government of the United States was corrupt, would you believe him?
Yes, because
No,
it is.
but-
just because it's him saying it doesn't change the fact of
Okay,
the truth
so-
of the statement.
Okay, so
And that's not even left or right. That's just me as an American. The government's so crooked.
okay. But you guys, will you stop with your? All right.
The problem is you're talking to actual intelligent people. And I'm not even talking about our audience. Trust me, they're intelligent too. But I'm talking about both.
No. But you understand my point is that you because he's trying to use Luthen as the reason that that we knew that the Empire was up to no good. But the problem is if the only person you have to testify that the government is bad is a known terrorist.
I know, but if you follow the dominoes back, because here's the thing, your argument absolutely makes sense. Absolutely does.
And
But if you follow our dominoes backward, he only became a terrorist because of the regime that took over. Because of what they were doing, because of all the horrible, terrible things they were doing, the way that they were starving the outer colonies, the way that the outer ring people or whatever, the way they were insinuating themselves, stealing all kinds of the resources, reallocating things. I mean, at the end of the day, they took over Coruscant. I'm not Coruscant, Corellia. Like Corellia used to be a free market shipbuilding planet, and they literally took it over and were like, "You're only building for us now. All the parts and stuff is for ours now. Ours. That's it." That's the problem. That's something I did have a problem with the sequel rather. What's this nonsense about weapons and arms dealers? There was no free market weapons arms dealers in the Empire. Like, bro, now maybe afterwards in the New Republic, because, sure, stupidity.
Well,
but at the
actually,
same time,
and again, I'm not big into all the extended lore of Star Wars because that goes so freaking deep.
Oh, dude, yeah, no,
ridiculous.
same.
But
Isn't Luthien?
Thomas Potts would like to know, how is the Empire illegitimate? They were elected.
yeah,
You're
The
Empire had the majority. The Empire won all the electoral. The Empire had
Palpatine
sorry.
not only got the majority vote, but he got the electoral college as well.
That's right, and that's right, all of it.
Yeah,
he won by the greatest margin
ever
in the Empire's history
in the history
of the Republic. All of them.
Of the entire Republic, even I think the first one.
That's right. Going way back. Trust me, they looked.
I'm as powerful as any Jedi, except maybe Yoda, but probably him too.
That's so much. Mike Case coming in with the hard argument, the hot take, rather. It was Jar Jar's fault.
Well, I think we can all agree on that. Sooner or later, it always comes down to someone who's just a dumbass.
Yeah, for real.
I think that's just plain.
How does a princess just suddenly become a general? I think personally, nepotism.
Yeah, but I mean, shouldn't she have been like Lieutenant Leia in Empire?
Earn that nonsense. They're immediately like, "Quick, you are general." What? I barely went to high school.
But not only that, Stan, but a known criminal, a pirate, they also made a general.
Legit, and all he did was like come in swinging like a cowboy and shoot some star, and he was immediately like, "Well, clearly you're the one that should be planning our strategies."
And then they said, "Oh, look at that shady businessman from Bestman. Hey, you're a general too. Why not? Everybody's a freaking general."
We're just handing them out like Tic Tacs.
If everyone's a general, who's doing anything else? Were there any subordinates ever?
There's captains and generals.
That's it. That's awesome.
I don't think there's a single other rank in on the rebel side. Now, granted, on the Imperial side, we do have admirals.
I love this quote. It's a mixture, but I'm taking it. Tribbles have no teeth, and that man has no dick.
Well, we also know now that
Darth Maul would
Andorians
know,
don't have
wouldn't he?
dicks.
Hold on. ABJ says they also have admirals, but it's a trap.
Oh yeah, they did have Akbar. I forgot about Akbar.
But it's a trap.
Yeah, because Admiral Obvious should have been his name.
Totally. Oh my god, so much.
Admiral
I would have
Obvious.
accepted that. Two of the most important rebels were siblings, and they made out with each other.
Oh god. That's so true.
That's the best.
It hurts when it's the truth.
It's right, totally.
Yeah, so
Oh,
can
God.
we just say Game of Thrones, Star Wars, same thing?
Wow.
Okay.
Shit. Only difference is Luke and Leia never pushed anybody out of a window.
Yeah. No, that was Andor's job.
Hey,
Andor's job.
That's right. That's right. Oh my god. That's great. Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
Oh.
I'm like, really? With the dad jokes? What is this? What's going on here? Stop it.
And by the way, did you know Andorians didn't have dicks?
They have cloaca.
Yeah, but well, he was having sex with a bug.
It's a very. Did you ever see? Anytime I see stuff like that, it reminds me of that scene from the Orville, the one in the opening when dudes.
Yeah, when he shot the blue liquid on him.
Blue stuff out of his forehead, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, did you see that, Gonzo?
The
Yes.
Orville.
Yes, I see.
No, I liked it.
Section 31, not Orville.
Oh, Section 31. No, I hopefully.
Oh, Section 31? Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, you
okay.
could.
Well, let me
Good
find
man.
that for you.
No, God, no, does not happen.
Oh, come on. We got to show him the Andorian.
Okay, yeah, show him the Andor. I know what you're talking about. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, show it. To
Yeah, yeah. How can we not? Let's see. Where is
awesome.
Andorian.
Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Getting it ready here. Don't worry.
Indy Tiger coming in with the request. I think that and chances are Kathleen Kennedy will take him seriously. Who is Uncle Owen and Aunt Veru? Disney Plus. We need a series that starts by giving them a complete backstory. But I'm not talking about a complete backstory of just them from when they took on Luke. No. I want to know about how they met in school. I want some nonsense like that. Okay, I want the most. Let's get into the minutia.
That sounds like a CW episode.
It totally does.
Or series.
No,
there was a prequel series for them. It was called Dawson's Creek.
God, yes.
And then they moved to the Sand Planet because they were tired of being near the creek. They were like, you know what? I'm tired of this. We're going. All right, here we go. Let's see what you got.
All right. So this is the first time don't worry that I'm not going to subject you to all the wonderful sounds, but and for those of you that are faint of heart, there is Andorian nudity in this scene. So just
okay.
Yeah.
Just
all right. So you see the guy with the robot suit, he's about to bust his way through that wall. All
About
right?
to bust his knuckles.
He's going to bust through the wall. See, pretty impressive, right? Now, put him in the fight up against the Terminator and RoboCop, see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. But what does he find?
Woo!
These two are apparently a thing. So a effeminate male Andorian and a bug.
And a bug. What in the world?
Right? So
I don't even want to
hey.
know.
Tell me,
wait,
look at this.
It gets better.
Once you go thorax, you never go back.
Yeah. Okay. So notice they cleverly hide the Andorians midsection with the curtains and the fire and stuff, right?
It's hilarious.
And so you think, oh yeah, we're not going to see anything, right? So they go running by. Some more action, pow pow. Let's see.
That's right. Wonderful, riveting fighting with Michelle Yao.
Yeah. And all right, is it here?
Everyone's like, I didn't realize we were watching
Come
Salty's
on,
review of Section 31.
Oh, shoot!
I'm gonna have to put a time limit on you.
I'm trying to get just the right spot there. come on. Because we get a good shot of his midsection there.
It wouldn't be Nerd Fights if Salty wasn't running us through a very slow, boring piece of video.
Yes.
So come on, guys. You can't get a better
Killing me,
send
bro.
off
You're
than
killing
this.
me. Oh gosh.
But he's
What am I
got
looking at
like,
here?
but he's
Frontal
like,
of an Andorian.
but he's got like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay. Does that mean their antennas serve other purposes? What's going on?
Yeah. So how is he having sex with the bug?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Now, granted, bugs do have antenna. So
Sentai Ranger says, well, it is settled. Curse Section 31, though, I did love a few aspects of the movie which didn't feel or look like Star Trek at all. I will agree with that.
wait,
This
you
would have
love
this.
a
Hold
few
on. Does
this would've
Gonzo
been-
love the Acolyte like Mr. Know-It-All does?
No, it's terrible.
I hated
That's
the
a good question.
Acolyte.
Do you
I
love it
could
as
not
much as
stand the Acolyte.
Yeah.
And in fact, did you air it? Your little edit?
No, but it's on the Patreon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
he
it's on the
edited
Patreon.
I mean, it was just terrible storytelling. It's terrible acting. It was just no. And I don't even like giving it a shot. Like, well, they did pretty good. But no, it was just all bad. And I'm. This is not a debate. I'm not trying to. Nope. It's a nope. That's a hard
that's
no.
not true. I
No.
think that
No, but you won't be heard. Just
He keeps saying no,
doesn't matter.
no.
It's
no,
an absolute no.
no.
That is a negative ghostwriter.
Like John Campia, Sentai Ranger says, like John Campia, I tapped out of the Acolyte after episode 5, despite a few aspects. Fair enough. Yeah, that's the thing. Again, I always maintain there are people out there who want to have all kinds of arguments about the Acolyte. And by the way, I'm sure they're fine. My argument always is I don't even get to be in those rooms because I can't even get past how bad of a technically it's terrible. The writing is horrible. The acting is just flat and dead. There's so many things that are from a real standpoint objectively wrong with it that I don't even get to any of the fun arguments. Like seriously, I don't even get a chance to have those.
Yeah.
It's just
Because
bad.
the whole thing, but the whole foundation was just sand.
Robert asked an interesting question. He goes, new argument, the Borg versus the humanoid replicators from Stargate universe. The thing is, to me, they both felt arguably the same, if not, though executing differently. So I don't know there'd be that big of a difference. And that's except for the replicators just wanted to take over everything and replicate themselves. They actually had no desire to
they
assimilate
didn't actually assimilate.
Right. Whereas the Borg are like, we want to assimilate you. You will be like us. You will be like us. So it's a little different. I don't know. Hey, Aravic, you missed nothing. Trust me.
Absolutely nothing.
Been a normal night like always, buddy. We'll see you next week, in fact. You're good.
You're just not nice.
It's not my fault if
You're a nasty person.
For those of you who showed up late. There may be a few changes next time.
Yes. I'm trying to find.
Oh God! What are you trying to find?
Keep looking. I left my drink over there. Keep looking.
Oh God!
There he goes.
Come on, man! Don't leave us all in suspense here, man. We got airtime running here.
I know. I'm working on it because there's something else.
You can tell how old I am. I'm just dated myself, but
airtime.
Yeah.
Somebody once asked me.
It's just dead space looking at the side of your skull.
Dude, I had somebody ask me once, what time you go on the air? And I was like, I don't know. Let me call the TV station and find out.
Yeah, when do we go on the air? You haven't worked out a deal yet?
Right? Exactly. What radio station? Oh, by the way, did you guys hear? Like legit, TV's dying. I will give you true fact right now.
TV is totally dying.
NBC is shutting down their affiliates. Now, they don't own them. But if there's an NBC affiliate that says we are an NBC whatever, they're about to become channel such and such. NBC's pulling all of their terrestrial stuff licenses. They're doing it's like a 3-year. They've already told everybody Start figuring out what you're doing after us. If you intend to stay in business, we're done. We're not. We're done in the terrestrial TV world. We're going to strictly focus on our properties, our Universal, and those things, like those things.
All right, what are we looking at?
Oh, this is good time.
Yeah.
You know what? You need to play the hits for the whatever time we got left. You got to play the hits, man. Whatever you got. I think you got all kinds of stuff in there. Go for it.
You ready for this? This is why you can't say The Acolyte is all bad, because
Planet X. How could you?
Because it gave us this. Wow, Planet X.
Oh, what?
I'm so hurt. I'm hurting. Go ahead.
That your reaction has its basis in a physio. You smell something.
Sir, it's coming to the vent. Get out.
That your reaction.
There you go.
That was great. That was great.
Andy Tiger says, yeah, because Peacock's doing so well. I know, man, but they got to figure something. I guess they're doing what they're going to do. No, you are not Sentai Ranger Donnie. I also enjoyed Skeleton Crew. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yes, Skeleton Crew was better than I think it deserved to be.
Agreed.
But unfortunately, you know, and we're seeing this, like, because Daredevil I think is really good too. I know we didn't talk about it much tonight, but
it's
I'm
not
really
doing well.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Daredevil. I enjoyed Skeleton Crew, but Star Wars and Star Trek have just sown so much bad feelings with so many of the fans that it's going to take a string of successes.
It's a lot of healing that's going to need to be going on.
Yeah. Now, the problem is, I know people say, well, don't you think they should just take a break? No, they need to just continually produce good quality stuff. But you know what they don't need to do? They don't need to spend $300 million to make 6 episodes of something. You know?
You don't.
That's just stupid. Star Trek thrives as a low-budget sci-fi show.
And time out. The problem is, I don't know that it would today. Then again, the Orville
was not huge budget,
and but it scratched an itch. Now the problem is Star Trek doesn't want to scratch that itch anymore because they need money like everybody else. And I don't mean like, but I mean like they want to be the big studio types. That's like everybody who started the streaming service wants to be Netflix, but they don't want to put in the years that Netflix has put in. Whether or not you think they're trash, Netflix leads the world in streaming services.
But you see, even
trust me, Mercer, I know. It's on my list of things that I'm going to have to be forced to review. I know this. I've told my kid she has to go watch it with me.
Yes, make her go.
Because she used to. So chances are, I'm probably gonna pawn that review off on her. Let's be real. Baby Know It All is gonna do that.
I still like the original title of the movie better, though.
What was the original title?
Jason Momoa Comes Out.
My question is this: is nobody gonna tell Momoa he's put some weight on? He keeps trying to wear like if you watch the Minecraft trailer, that jacket is like 3 sizes too small, and I know he wore that jacket to like an awards thing once, and I'm like, bro, you ain't that guy no more. You better like ease up. I know they told you get jacked up to be Aquaman, but then you kept eating that level of calories every day
without doing the exercise.
For real, you gotta calm down, my man.
ABJ is 100% right here. You don't have to do. Not every Star Trek season has to have big epic space battles, And in fact, if you look at the battles from like TOS, the Doomsday Machine and Balance of Terror were like the 2 big battle episodes, and those battles were not action-packed. They were all about suspense. And
I think the most quote unquote space battle we ever saw was like twice in Deep Space Nine. Did they do those like sweeping ship?
Oh yeah.
And that's it.
But really honestly, I think that those battles were on kind of weak sauce. And I know this is terrible to people hate, hate when I talk about this, but I don't think that that's what Star Trek is all about. I don't need to see 800 starships facing off with 800 Dominion ships or Romulan ships or whatever. I just need a good story. And the best battles, honestly, are one-on-one. Think about
a space dogfight.
Sacrifice of Angels is the big one from Deep Space Nine. That was the one that was the season premiere.
That was a good one.
Massive battle.
You
However,
know what did great? You know what really did really good star battles like that? Battlestar Galactica, the original. I loved those. They were
well,
the
funny thing is
the original
Battlestar Galactica used the same footage for every battle because
They
it
totally
wasn't about the action.
It wasn't the
shots.
actual battle, but the
was the story being
action
told.
forward- yeah, the story being told during the battle.
Right. But don't get me wrong, like Sacrifice of Angels, compare that to, say, Star Trek II. And while Star Trek II
That's a valid question. Because he's Omni-Man, you know the kind of seed he has.
So Viltrumite DNA. Let's just say I'll put it this way. Was it Robert Kirkman has actually addressed this, something like this, in what he said during a convention once was Viltrumite DNA is so potent you could literally throw it on the ground and plants would grow.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they are a they are a survivalist species, a very highly resilient species that will find it. Now it's considered like bad, like horrible, bad, whatever, bad juju, whatever. But to do that, but dude, yeah, man, they can do mate with almost anything.
So I have a question. No, and I know this is probably a minor spoiler, and I don't even know.
No, stop it.
And I don't even know if it comes out this season or not, because I'm a few episodes back in this season of Invincible. But the last thing that the end of the last episode that I watched was when Omni-Man reveals that there's only a handful of pure blood Viltrumites in the universe.
Sure. Yeah.
So
like,
is Omni-Man one of them?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So
yeah.
And so that means that Invincible himself is only one generation removed from pure Viltrumite.
Yeah, but they qualify that because humans are so close to Viltrumites, he may as well be pure blood because
I remember
his
he
DNA
said that
will just
in the first season.
Right.
But he was also talking about how potent Viltrumite DNA was in comparison to human DNA, and so he might as well be pure blood. However, that means that Invincible himself would have an edge against a non-pure blood Viltrumite.
You know, real quick, I tell you what, it being our last show of this type, I'm inspired, and I feel like I want to just open my heart and express a few things.